points in game 2, but as you mentioned earlier, they were just one game away from the playoffs last year. They got a taste of it. They said we didn't want to be in the same position. They improved this season. Tanisha Wright has challenged them every single point of this season. They had 3 players score over 600 points for the first time in the franchise, 3 All-Stars for the first time. And when you talk about Ryan Howard, can we mention just star power, the quickest to 100 threes in WNBA history, past Cynthia Cooper, and then also the quickest to 1,000 points in this franchise. She continues to blossom and a lot to build on. Their fans should definitely be excited about what's for the future of Atlanta.
Lots in store for this Atlanta Dream franchise. And when you think back to last season, that was the impetus for them making it to the playoffs. This year, to Angel's point, those are the types of seasons that you say, hey, this changes the franchise and turns it around and points it in an even greater direction.
And they'll be able to build on this experience in the same way that Dallas was able to build on their playoff experience last season. Dallas lost in the first round to Connecticut, and they built on that experience. Arike Gumbawale wasn't available fully as her best self in that series. She came out here with a chip on her shoulder as well. Both of these organizations putting the pieces together year by year, but I'll tell you, Dallas looks really good.
That spin move and a little flip of the hair from Kaylani Brown. But to your point, the first round exits have been a constant conversation. Coach Trammell, we talked to her about it earlier and said, hey, you know, how did you address that with your team? She says, look, I am tired of it, quite honestly. We are looking to turn it around. So yes, they made it to the playoffs, but the next step is to win a playoff series, which they are less than 90 seconds away from doing so. She said, I just want it so bad for them. Angel, what'd you hear?
I mean, when you're talking about Latricia Trammell, 1 in 3 coaches in the playoff field in the first season and has the best winning percentage of the 3, but it hasn't come without adversity. Ladies taking the job, expecting a different roster, only 3 players returning, new faces. She said new coaches. They found a way to build chemistry right away. Trammell said to have this group in her first season and how they bought into the process has been humbling. She actually teared up in front of us. She said, I just can't believe how they bought in. We do things together. We wait on each other after the playing. We eat together. We paint together. And now we can win together.
And they are looking to celebrate together as that bucket and make from Brown. Satu Sabli looking on and certainly pleased by that.
And it's the excitement for me. Odyssey Sims, you see her jumping up and down to the left of the screen. The bench is excited. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. When everybody's pulling for each other, everyone's excited for each other. This is great experience for Kalani Brown to be out here right now. They could use her even more down the stretch. Coming up against the Aces, that series, they could celebrate this one. Coaches in tears. They can sit with this feeling.
And Kawir, along with just the wonderful defensive effort all around from Dallas. And they're cutting through those tears, a smile from Coach Trammell, and she certainly loves it.
And it's really not that they won, it's how they won. How they won as a complete team performance, offensively and defensively, getting it done. Great energy start to finish. This is huge.
Okay, Dre, so let's look ahead, right? Because they're going to face off against the Las Vegas Aces Sunday, a team they beat during the regular season. In fact, the Wings have beaten all 3 of the top seeds in Vegas, New York, and Connecticut twice.
Yeah, I think that'll be an extremely fun series. I don't think they're going to think about it yet. They're going to sit in this for a second. Well, what a relentless effort from the Wings.
Well, this franchise, back when it was in Detroit, won 3 WNBA titles. Many believe that they can give them a run for their money. The top contenders in this league, as the Wings are moving on to the WNBA semifinals, finally breaking the first round curse for the first time since being in Dallas. They're moving on after the first round.
7 players in double figures. They dropped over 100 points. They made life difficult for Ryan Howard. Atlanta had 3 players that played big but did not have enough. The Wings flew as high as possible tonight. They will definitely look to build on this performance against the #1 team in the league next round.
Well, 3 of the 4 teams are set for the semifinals. We'll await who will get their 4th team as passing the century mark, Dallas over Atlanta for Angel Gray and Andrea Carter. I'm Tiffany Green saying thanks so much. We out from Arlington.